Good day, people. Listen, so I wanted to report because I was I was out and about today and didn't find out, and I had a doctor's appointment. Didn't find out until after I got out of the doctor's appointment that they actually did arrest Don Lemon for the coverage that he did at the church, and so of course I'm a news junkie. I'm a news buff. But lately I've had to turn my TVs off, and this is why. I rush home to catch the news to find out what the heck going on, right? So I'm getting little clips, driving down the street, getting little clips on my phone. Yeah, I was at a stoplight. All right, but anyway, so getting little clips on my phone, and I see that there are different people reporting. Well, first off, the Don Lemon show did come on my phone because I am subscribed and everything like that. So I could see them talking about it, commenting about it. But of course, that dialogue was long, so I didn't really have a time to dive into it. I needed something that was going to cut straight to the meat. So I clicked on something else, and sure enough, there was TMZ guy, Harvey Levitt, saying something about how they had arrested Don Lemon, and I think he was on some show advertising it or what have you. So I get home to catch the TMZ show so that I can hear what's going on. I mean, what? Because I had just created a video for Don Lemon and DL Hughley last night. Inviting them to my home and wanting them to come and kick it with me while they're in Atlanta. But so I was shocked. I was shocked because I knew nothing of it. And I get this thing and I see TMZ giving an update on Don Lemon being arrested. So I rush home to watch the TMZ show. And believe it or not, the TMZ show said nothing about it. So I turned my TV off, as we have been instructed to do. I turned my TV because none of the media coverages covered it. None of the media coverages covered it. So I'm like, well, why is nobody talking about this? Why is nobody saying anything about it? So I had to turn my TV off and go to YouTube and go to my subscription with Don Lemon and find out what was going on and what was current. And I think the points that some of the guys made, some of the ladies and gentlemen made, it was very, very valid. That when it looks like us, there's not as much of a concern. And you when he went after Jimmy Kimmel, he realized Jimmy Kimmel was a bigger fish to fry, and a lot of people and a lot of supporters came in support of Jimmy Kimmel, and the revenue. The decrease in revenue was too impactful for them to uphold that removal. Well, they're trying to do the same thing with Don Lemon, and nobody's covering it. Why on earth would TMZ not make mention? They were covering flies. They were covering a guy who was creating. I mean, they really pulled non interesting clips to cover that segment when they could have covered breaking news. Another media influencer or another independent journalist has been arrested or subdued or silenced. I think that the people on that show made a good point, is that when they feel like when it's us, then less people will be concerned and less revenue dollars will be concerned. And we need to try to pull as many of those resources that supported Jimmy Kimmel and the Target boycott and all those things. We need to pull those into the equation to say to broadcast this, because they didn't finally release the Epstein files. These are the Epstein files that they released, but it's a strategy, and we have to be wise enough to not play checkers with these folk, because they're moving pieces across the board. I want to say something else, and I'm going to be brief on this, and I want to send this to the Don Lemon chat room, and hopefully you guys get it. But I want to say this: we're playing checkers, they're playing chess. Them people, FBI storming Fulton County election board to get the counts for an election in 2021 or 2020, whatever the damn election, whatever past tense that they searching for is irrelevant. irrelevant. Look at the big picture. When you play chess, baby, you look at the future move. You don't look at the current, what's in front of you. You have to examine the board and make a strategy on how you're going to move your pieces in order to not allow that piece to be captive. That was a test run. Do you really think they're concerned about who won the 2020 election? Okay, so if Trump won it hands down, then what? Now what? He's president. It's irrelevant. That's a test run. If we can get away with stealing that election, then we ain't going to have no midterms. Is it in his favor to have a midterm when you know he's going to go? The only way you're going to get that man out is to drag him out. That's the only way you're going to get him out of that house. He's already shown you this is a criminal. You've allowed a criminal to get into office and you expect him to abide by the laws? Is that logical thinking? And you have to be ahead of the game because this is what's happening. I don't believe, for me, I did an earlier post that I don't believe that we're going to have a midterm election. I feel like something is going to happen to where we have martial law or some sort of war is going to impact the fact that we don't even need to vote. You can take your little vote, throw it in the garbage because that's what we're going to do, or that's what they're going to do. So, but I want the people that are stronger, powerful, and more insightful than me to be looking at the strategy behind them coming to get those polls from Fulton County. If they take the polls from Fulton County, which is a largely populated black community, then that means whoever is running in this city will win whatever election that they're trying to win because that will suppress a number of different votes. So yes, baby, we're back to counting the jelly beans in the jar in order to determine whether we are eligible to vote. John Lewis tried to tell you. And I feel like this. Forgive me for my passion, because it is a passionate thing for me. I feel like this. When they tell you, take our country back, that's what the hell they meant. Take our country back. And I lost my damn train of thought now here. But yeah, so we're going to have to fight for our votes. I don't believe that there is going to be a midterm election. I believe that there's going to be martial law or something to that capacity to force us to have to fight for to have our voice heard. I also wanted to say this. I was born in 1968, 4 months before Martin Luther King was killed. He was killed in April. I was born in August. For my life, I have never really had to deal with racism. I have lived under the pillars of my ancestors who fought for my freedom. And that freedom has allowed for a lot of black people to get comfortable and forget where the hell we come from. It has allowed for a lot of black people to think that because I've accomplished this and I've accomplished that and that I'm not like them. No, the thing that makes you like me is this. And unless you can change that, then my problem is your problem, and it don't have nothing to do with your bank account. Because when they pull you over on the street, they're not going to check your damn bank account. They're not going to worry about what type of car you're driving. They're not going to ask you what the name of your goddamn job title is. So yeah, we're being taken back, and I feel like I feel like it's a good thing and a bad thing because see now it will show the ignorant black people who feel like this does not affect them that it does. And it will force them to be united. Because see, back in the civil rights movement, they didn't have other choice but to be united. They didn't have any other choice but to know that the only person I can count on is the person that looked like this, looked like the Epstein file disclosure. That's the only person that I can count on. Because it's just me, it's us against them. You've allowed yourself to live into the falsehood that you're not affected by that, but yes, you're directly affected by that, and all your damn accomplishments mean nothing to these people. The only thing that means anything to them is that your skin color is not wrinkled, old, and white. And that's what I'm going to end on people. I want to send a message out. We are under siege. We're definitely under damn siege. And I want to send a message out to people that are more powerful than me to be able to strategize. Damn, how you let your enemy get this many pieces across the board without you even recognizing? How does that happen? How does that happen? Who are the people? And just all, but one thing is for sure, all skin color ain't all skin folk ain't kinfolk, or however the damn saying, you know what I'm trying to say. But how do you let that many pieces of your enemy's pieces get across the board without you noticing anything? I mean, Project, they got to wrote a whole damn football game plan on how they gonna run game on your monkey ass. They didn't stack the Supreme Court. They didn't try to steal an election. How do you let this happen and you don't? Oh, I need y'all to do better. I need y'all to do better. Don't think about today. We're not worried about it. I'm thankful. I love Don Lemon. Since the CNN days, I'm thankful that it was somebody like Don Lemon, because if it had been me, it would have just been my damn loss. It would have just been my damn loss. But because it is Don Lemon, it's someone who will get media attention and eyes and views on it, and we have to make sure that we're acting accordingly. We have to strategize like they strategizing. This is a part of the plan. They stole. I'm going back to the elections. I'm jumping all over the place, I know, but they stole those election. They mobbed that election board for a reason. It was a test run. If we can get away with this shit here, we got them on January midterm elections, because we're gonna do this again. That's exactly what's going. You got to be more mindful. What they're trying to take us to is the days where, when we get shot down in the street, it's just like running over a dead animal. You get the person that ran over that dead animal get to go home, make it home in time enough to have dinner with his wife and kids, and there's no persecutions. They want to take our country back, and I'm sorry at the fact that we hadn't stopped that from happening before now. But I certainly hope that we have mindful people that are going to be decisive enough to strategize the movement. I'm Hollywood. That's my commentary. And I'd just like to say something else. We cannot let the same strategy that was used against us decades ago work effectively today. The best strategy that racism had is to divide and conquer. We cannot allow that same strategy to be utilized on us again and be as effective as it was back in the day. We need the house Negroes and the field Negroes, and we need all hands on deck. No dividing and conquer. United we stand, divided we fall. And that's proven.